Hello, lovely people in the Rise Business Solutions business page. Hi there, my name is Melanie Folkes-Mayer. I am the founder and managing director of Edom's HR Consulting, where we provide the expert HR skills you need to recruit, manage, motivate and develop your team so that you can focus on doing all the things you want to do as a business owner, like getting your time back to travel the world. So hello. Sorry, I am late. As you can hear from my voice, I am in the UK, and so there was a little time difference shenanigans, but I am here now. So if you are watching live or you are watching on the replay, please do say hi. So today I am here for like a brief 15 minutes to really just talk to you about how to manage your team without micromanaging it. So you know, you guys are all tax experts. You want to run your business. When it's tax season, you need to get additional staff in. You need to make sure they're on point, they're doing things properly, and they are achieving all the things that you want to. What you don't want is any stress. What you don't want is any strain. And so that is what we're going to do. I am just going to quickly go in the group and check that I am actually live and that you can see me and everything is good. Looks like it's good, looks like it's okay. So that's amazing. Right, so I have 5 points that I need to share with you. I'm keeping to time to make sure that I am ready for you. But as I said, if you have any questions in between, do just type them in. I'll be looking at the comments and I will respond to you and I will get back to you about those. So the very first thing that you need to make sure you do in order to have a team that you will perform excellently, that your clients will be happy about, is really about recruiting the right people. I think there is a tendency to recruit someone who's good enough or they're okay because you are desperate to get someone. One of the things about running your own business is you kind of work on that just-in-time recruitment. So just in time, you want someone just in time. You don't want to get them too early for them to cost you money and be an overhead. You want them to get in there and hit the ground running, be able to do the work and be, you know, totally trained up and ready right when you need them. And I totally get it. I totally understand that. But the thing is, you need to really make sure that you aren't recruiting the wrong person. So not only do they need to be a fit for your business, they also need to be a fit for your clientele. So having the skills to do the job is just one thing, and that's the thing that you need to remember. Having the skills to perform the role is only one part of it. But if they are grumpy, if they're going to be disrespectful to clients, if they're not going to be timely in the way that they do things, that is going to affect the success of your business. That's going to affect the experience that your clients, that your customers have of your business. So it's really important to not just look at the technical skills that they need, but also look at those softer skills, those behavioral skills that they need. So looking at making sure that when you're asking them questions, when you're interviewing them, you're not just focusing on the tax skills, you're focusing also on their behaviors. You know, how do they deal with difficult customers? How do they deal with stress? How do they make sure all their work is done on time? All of those kind of things. You need to make sure that you are asking those kind of questions as well to get a really rounded understanding of the person, a really rounded understanding of how they're going to help your business, how they're going to develop your business, how they're going to help you have give that amazing customer experience, because you want your clients to come back again and again and you want them to refer you, right? That's how you build your business. So you don't just want them to come the once for you to do their tax. You want them to come to you year on year on year, and you want them to refer you to your friends and say, they were amazing, they did my taxes, they were so quick, they were so on point, they saved me money. You want them to be able to say that. So you need to make sure you've got staff who demonstrate your ethos. You want to make sure that when you're recruiting staff, they really get that. So that's the first point. So the first one is make sure that you recruit the right person. Make sure you understand the skill set that you need, not just the skills to do the tax, but the skills to manage themselves, to manage the clients, and to give that great customer experience so that your customers come back year on year. Now, the second thing that you need to do is you need to set great objectives. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of SMART objectives, and that's about making sure that they are, specific and measurable and timely and all of that good stuff. And that's one place to start. But the other thing about objectives is to really make sure they are outcome focused. So rather than it being, I don't know, you're going to get 20 customers, or you're going to go to this amount of networking events or whatever. What you want is, what are you going to get out of that? So what you want is what you want it to be is way more specific than that. So you want it to be, I want you to go out and have 20 sign-ups by the whatever date. And then maybe if you've got a particular product that you want to sell, you make it even more specific. So if there is a high, medium and low version of the work that you do, then you want to make sure that you might say that I want this kind of high end, or your income needs to be this. So you might say that. On the other hand, it might be a thing about timeliness. So it might be around, I want 90% of all our returns to be done, maybe the week before they're due. So that means that if there's some people who are late comers, you've got some time to fit them in. So you need to be really specific about those things, but also you need to be specific again around the things around customer services. So if it is responding to emails or phone calls, all of those kind of things, you need to be really specific about the objectives that you set. Because when you set clear objectives, then there's no wishy-washiness when work's not done. There's no wishy-washiness when things aren't the way that you want them to be. And in order to manage a team well and not have to micromanage them, you need to be very clear about what you want, very clear about your expectations. And if they are not achieving those expectations, you need to manage it accordingly. So you need to make sure that all of these things are documented. So if they aren't hitting your targets, if they aren't behaving in a way that you would like them to behave, you can very quickly pull them in and pull them up or get them out. So that's what's really important about having clear objectives. If you've got clear, agreed objectives between you and your team members, then you always know that they will have to stick to that. You always know that if they don't stick to it, you've got written records, you've got a way to address it. And it's really important to make sure you've got all your things in writing to keep you away from the legislative issues that you might have. So hi there, I can see more people are joining in. So hi, my name is Melanie Folkes-Mayer, and I am talking to you today about how to manage your team without micromanaging. So I've got 5 points so far. I've gone through 2. So I spoke about make sure you recruit the right person, and I spoke about making sure you set really clear objectives. And I'm just going to go to my next point just to make sure that I don't forget anything. So number 3 is you need to build relationships. You need to really take the time to get to know your staff. One of the things that a lot of managers struggle with, a lot of business owners struggle with, is they're shocked when the staff are unhappy, or they're shocked that they've got that they've left to go to another organisation, or they're shocked when things aren't working the way that they would like them to be. And often it's because they haven't built that relationship, they haven't built that rapport to be able to tell whether that person's having a good day or a bad day, to be able to tell whether or not they might have some, home issues or whatever. You need to build that relationship where your team feel comfortable in coming to you and giving you the heads up if something's going on. So, for example, I have a client who runs a childcare business, and so it's very important for her to have the right ratios of staff to children, and she makes sure that it's happened. Hi LaShawn, thank you so much for scribing for me. It's really, and for her it's really important to make sure she's got the right staff ratios. Now when for example, she had a staff member who's pregnant, and she came to her and told her earlier than you would normally disclose that you're pregnant, but she made her aware because she knew that she would be understanding enough to know that perhaps she might have a little, morning sickness and be a bit late, or maybe there might be something like that. And it meant that rather than her having a staff member who was calling in sick and her not understanding why, or, in childcare, if you are sick, yeah, definitely true. When people feel valued, they do and comfortable, they perform better. But also it's that thing, if you're looking after children and you're sick, you're supposed to stay out of work for 2 days. And it's a whole different thing between having a tummy bug and having morning sickness, right? So you have to, the fact that she was comfortable enough to be able to come and say that to her boss. Otherwise, she would have just said, I'm sick, and she would have spent 2 days at a time off, relaxing, hanging out in her bed. So it's really important to build those relationships so that your team understand where you're coming from, that they really get in with the ethos of the business, And they can see, they can see what you're doing, they can see how you're working, but also so that they feel comfortable to come to you. And not only just come to you when they've got problems, but they'll come to you with suggestions, they'll come to you with ideas, because they know it's an open opportunity, it's an open environment. If they're always getting knocked back, if you're not paying any attention, if you're just like, just get on with the work, they're not going to be bothered. They're not going to share with you. They're going to take that knowledge and they're going to share it elsewhere, where someone else can take that knowledge of the staff, the team that you've got that's on the floor dealing with your customers, and they can use that to poach your customers. They can use that to really have a more amazing service, because they're being able to take the things they've learned working from you and take those lessons learned and they've shared them somewhere else, or maybe even going to start their own thing. So you really need to think about how you build those relationships, build that rapport with your team, spend a bit of time sitting with them. I know that you guys work remotely quite a lot, but every now and again, book a room in a hotel, all come together and work together, do a little virtual meetup. You can all be on Zoom or something and, working alongside each other. Make sure you do something like that kind of ties your team in, that builds that relationship. It's really, really important. So that's number 3, building relationships. Number 4 is ask for feedback. One of the things that it can be hard to do when it's your business baby, right, is that you will want to work, you're working really hard, you've got these ideas, it's your baby, you've been doing all this amazing stuff to build and scale and grow your business. But you have to remember, as you grow your business, as you get to that stage where there's some levels, there's some gaps between your client and you, that your staff, they're that gap. Your staff, they're maintaining those relationships. They're doing all the work so that you can go travel, so that you can, go and lie on a beach and leave your laptop at home, because they're getting the work done and bringing in income that's paying for, for you to have the life that you deserve. So you have to remember that they're going to have some amazing ideas. They're back on the floor now. They're seeing, we all know how much things change. So you need to really make sure that you are continuously taking feedback from your staff, asking them, when you have ideas, rather than saying this is what we're going to do, how about I'm thinking about this, what do you think? Or how do you think we could improve this? Or what do you think our clients would do if we changed this thing? Or do you think our clients would like it if we did this thing? Obviously you should also be talking to your clients. You should be asking them for feedback, asking them for testimonials, even from a point of view of checking on your staff. You should be doing a bit of that to make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing, make sure your clients are happy. But also you need to really be speaking to your staff and really giving them getting their feedback and really appreciating it. Let them see that you're taking it on board and that you're making changes, you're making decisions based on their input. And sometimes it's as simple as literally saying, I was thinking about this, what do you think? And they might give you 1 or 2 tweaks. Actually this is great. And then actually even better, this is wonderful. Why don't you run with it? Why don't you take this project and go with it? That's the best thing you can do. You want to get someone on side when you're making a change, is to ask for their feedback, take their opinion into consideration, and then roll with it. Just put it out there, let them do it. And then they're really owning it, they've really got ownership of it. Big them up for how well and how amazing they're doing. Sean says yes. That's it. That's what you need to do. You need to really just do that to make them feel good, them feel valued, and also it's taking the weight off your back. A big thing that I find with clients that I have is they want to hold on to everything, they want to hold it so tight, but actually releasing the work is freeing for you and empowering for them. So you are freeing yourself up and you are empowering them. That is a really strong, empowered staff are happy staff. Empowered staff are staff who grow and develop and build your business while they're building their career. So that is number 4. And number 5, finally, is keep tabs on morale. Now, little things can be big things when it comes to the morale of individuals. And as people work with you, if they work with you for several years, you'll see that their priorities change. You'll see that the things that motivate them change. So I know before I had children, what I loved a job, money was good and the travel was good and my holidays were great, and that was one thing. Having children, then my priorities became, I want to have a good balance. I want amazing work and I want to make good money, but also I don't want to spend all that money, I don't want to use all that money on childcare. I don't want someone else raising my children. I want to be able to balance that. And to be fair, that's how I ended up starting my own business, which is no bad thing. But you have to make sure, you have to make sure that you're on top of what's happening with your team. You need to make sure that that same thing about building that relationship is also about understanding the morale. You may have one new person join your team, and they can change they can change how your team is. They can change the morale. Things will change. Things will shift. So you have to be able to keep tabs of that. There are some really good questions that you can ask. And I know I'm speaking quite quickly with this. I do have a PDF, and I will make sure that we get it to you so that you've got it all in writing in detail so you can have a look at that. Yeah, balance is the key. Hi there. As you are joining, my name's Melanie Folkes-Mayer, and I'm talking to you about managing without micromanaging. And I had 5 points, I'm at 5. So you might have to go back and watch the replay. And if you have any questions, do feel free to come and ask. But I've still got some golden nuggets for you already. But yeah, some of the questions that you need to be asking. Yeah, that's it. One bad apple can definitely spoil the bunch. And that almost goes back to my first point, which is about making sure you really recruit the right person, not just with the right skills, but also with the right ethos and the right values to help your business to grow. But the kind of questions that you need to ask are things like, do I know what's expected of your team? You need to ask them, do you know what's expected of you at work? Do you have the materials and equipment that you need to do your work? At work, do you have your opportunity to do what you do best every day? Is there someone at work who encourages my development? At work, do my opinions seem to count? If you ask staff those kind of questions, and I'm talking about, like once a quarter or something, you have a little questionnaire that you put in a Typeform or SurveyMonkey or something like that. But really try to keep track of that. Try to keep track of morale and keep track of what's keeping people happy. If you have people working alongside you in an office, it can be as small as getting a new coffee machine. It can be as small as changing the rug on the floor. If you've got people who are working remotely with you, it's probably more about giving them the feeling that they're part of a team, about feeling that they're appreciated, about feeling that there's some understanding and some love and care and stroking there, even if you are thousands of miles apart, to really make sure that you do. They are great questions. So make sure that you do that. And the other thing is, as you've got doing, so keep track of, it said something really weird about my connection. I hope you can still hear me, see me. Let me know if you can hear me and see me and everything's fine. Let me know how it's going. Our Wi-Fi was completely dropping when I was trying to get live. And then how often would I suggest you ask these questions? I think you ask them like literally, I would do it like once a quarter, so every 3 months or so. Just ask these questions, just a little kind of light touch. How are you doing? How you think everything's going? I mean, the other thing is also, when you're doing one-to-ones of your team, I would hope that you're doing them at least monthly, monthly, that you are also just checking in on how they're doing, how they're finding things, if they need any help or support or training or anything like that you're really clear about checking those things out with them. But yeah, having that kind of, what I kind of call it like a heat check, having that kind of pulse check is really maybe once a quarter. Make sure that you do that. And the other thing to really check when you're checking morale is also look at rates of like sickness and absence. So you usually keep a track of how often people are like sick and late and absent and things like that. That is also normally quite a good way of checking are they happy in their role. If suddenly the sickness levels go up, if suddenly things are starting to change, that will show in their sickness, it will show in their absence, it will show in their tardiness. So make sure you do that. Yeah, monthly one-to-ones with a team. Cool, great. I hope the thumbs up means that that's what you're doing. So those were the 5 things. So just to go back again, it is make sure you recruit the right person. Don't recruit in haste. They say recruit in haste and repent at leisure. I think they say the same thing about marriage, right? So make sure that you're getting the right person who's the right fit for your business, not just with the right skills. Number 2, make sure you set really clear objectives, really clear about the goals, and make sure that they kind of follow through. So from your company goals, for your individual goals, that they really follow through. And your objectives. 3 is build relationships. So make sure you're building really great relationships with everybody. 4 is ask for feedback. And 5 is check on morale. As I said, I have a PDF that has all of these things in a bit more detail so that you can really go through them and check those out. So are there any questions? While I'm waiting to see if there are any questions you want to type up any questions. Yeah, definitely. Manage them without micromanaging, and then you can level up and you can, you know, be working wherever you want in the world or not working. Like the biggest joy, like as nice as it is to have business where you can work from wherever you are, is the fact that when you can take a vacation and just forget about it and know that it's still happening, know that that income is still coming in. It's not quite the same as residual income. I know it's a big thing for you. It's not quite the same, but it works really amazingly. So as I said, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to type up any questions if you've got. While you are doing that, I'm just going to say to you that it's Black Friday on Friday. So I have a Black Friday deal, which I will post in the comments here. But basically there are 2 parts to it, and I'm going to go into it. It's not even live yet, so I'm giving you guys the scoop. So there are 2 things. So we have a online management fundamentals course, which gives you all you need to really manage a team, motivate them, direct them, talks about how you deal with things from setting objectives, so really deal on setting objectives around those one-to-one meetings or what they should include, how you deal with kind of disciplinary type issues, and how you deal with dismissals and all of those kind of things. So it's really taking you through the full process of how to make sure you are legislatively compliant, and making sure all of those good things happen. So normally it is $297 and it is on offer for $197. I said the link and everything I will send to you. And the other thing is that I have a one-to-one 45-day management coaching program, which is like steely steal. So normally it is $997 and it is 50% off at $497, with a fast acting bonus for the first 5 sign-ups of a 1-hour HR strategy session with me. I will post that also in the comments, so have a look at that, and if you've got any questions, do just let me know. So I don't see any questions. I'm just going to quickly scroll. So, but I'll be in here, so if you have any questions, if you're watching on the replay and you have any questions, do just put them in. I will definitely still come back to you. If you've got something that you want to ask privately, do just DM me and I will respond. But apart from that, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to leave you by saying what I always say: be a kind, caring and considerate managers, because considerate managers have considerate staff, and those considerate, caring staff will take care of your customers, which means they're taking care of your business. Take care now. Have a wonderful rest of the day. See you all again soon. Bye.